It's the Cable
The new Game of Thrones thing is kind of like if you fed reviews of a Knight's Tale to like an AI, to like ChatGPT, and made them like write one. Did I trophy? I certainly did, Hinderhoof. I certainly did. Sounds like we were both taking out the trash, huh? Ooh, a Fury. You preferred it to House of the Dragon? Yeah, I didn't last through House of the Dragon either. I was like giving it my a fair shake. Was doing my best. And then they had an episode where everything was way too dark, and I was like, you didn't learn from the first time? What's wrong? What's wrong with you people? Just addicted to people not being able to see what's going on. Oh, what about that ephemerate? Should I have taken ephemerate with Fury here? Have I kept up with Rings of Power? I think so. I watched the first 2 seasons. When does season 3 come out? Fall of 2026. Yeah, no, I'm current. I liked the second season a solid amount. You think Mako is an underrated one-drop? I mean, it plays well with a lot of red cards, right? Like Faithless Looting and Inti and all that. That's fair enough, Ugg Twitch chat. Yeah, there's a lot of eye-rolly criticism of that show. But that is extremely valid. I'm gonna grab Arena of Glory. Discharge would be good. Currently we're removal-less. We passed some already, but I guess Fury's removal, huh? Also, yeah, if you've got Fury and Parallax Wave, maybe you need less spot removal than usual. You donated a song a bit ago if I missed it. I believe I did. Thanks for the ping. Let's play that right now. Mio says, how do you feel about owls? I fucking love owls. Rewatched The Secret of Nim recently. That's a cool-ass fucking owl right there. Superb owls. Not as high on those. Boo, I'll attack, boo. This song is making your dog uneasy. I understand. This is by Of the Trees. It's called The Owl Song. An Ephemerate came back. Got Ephemerate and Lauren, or Ephemerate plus Fury. Apparently this superb owl is happening tomorrow. Somebody was talking about it. The superb owl was on your mind. You excited? Who are you reading for? You haven't seen Secret of Nim in probably 15 years when your kids were young. I think that movie rips. I guess we're on like a mini kids film streak, because we rewatched Neverending Story the other day. Gotta love anything Don Bluth. Hell yeah. Have I seen Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole? I have indeed. I showed that to my wife fairly early on in our relationship. We had taken a bunch of acid and gone to see High Lung. And after the show, we walked through the cold streets of Milwaukee back to the hotel. And I popped out my laptop and I'm like, I've got just the thing. And threw on Legends of the Guardian, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. I think that movie's a banger, though. It's hard for me to pass Converter, but I think I should here. We need a little bit more red for the Fury, and Season Pyromancer seems sweet with Ephemerate. How does the Neverending Story hold up? So the Neverending Story uses all practical effects. Already a good sign in terms of it holding up well, right? The child acting sucks. I mean, that just happens. That's a fairly normal thing. But There's a lot of like really delightfully weird characters. The cinematography is good. The soundtrack is ripping. And yeah, Giorgio Moroder fucking contributed to the soundtrack of that film. The director was the same guy who did like Das Boot before he came over to the States and made like Troy and stuff. Perfect Storm ass director. But I think it holds up really well. I don't know, a banger of a film. A lot of the like small niche characters, the actors just like dial it up to 100 and put in like really banger performances. Ocelot Pride and Guide of Souls, huh? That's exciting. That's someone's favorite Zack Snyder movie. The Legend of the Guardian, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. It's my favorite Zack Snyder movie. It's like not even close. There's a musical number in the middle of it that sucks shit, but the rest of the movie rips. The animation for like the fight scenes really holds up well, I think. And all the in-flight bits and nonsense. You think Fantastic Mr. Fox is your favorite Wes Anderson movie? Nice. I think the most I ever enjoyed a Wes Anderson movie was his dog movie, but like I was just really enjoying the theater I was in and stuff, and the vibes are really good. I kind of dug his most recent one, although I think it fell off a bit at the end. Didn't really go anywhere. I think the Grand Budapest Hotel is his best, his like technically best film, and I don't think it's gonna get topped. Just a really, really well-made movie. And then in terms of my favorite, I like that Bill Murray one with the fish. A lot of fun physical comedy in that movie. Yeah, that's how I felt about it, Koopman. Solid, but not on top. Life Aquatic, yeah, that's the one. You didn't like Asteroid City? I detested Asteroid City. There's a lot of people that like really love that one. It's like their favorite of his works. They think it's his like most intimate and personal and stuff. And I was trying to get into it, and I was like, this is way too long for Bryan Cranston to be monologuing at the scene. It's just too much. I don't care. You're making me dislike Bryan Cranston somehow. What is this? What am I watching? Very difficult thing to do. The stop motion bit in the middle was cool as shit, though. So the bombardment plays well with Ocelot Pride and Season Pyromancer. It's not amazing with the rest of the deck. Did I see HBO is doing a Baldur's Gate TV show? You better not be fucking with me. Oh, it's with the Last of Us co-creator. Not who I would have chosen to helm this project. But could be worse. You know who I would have gotten to direct or to helm a fucking Baldur's Gate TV show? The Mandy director. Panos Cosmatos. That guy rips. Wearing a sleep shirt is the first image of him. Yeah, the Parlor would be good, but I'm not going to pass up Ragavan. I'm not going to do that. You know nothing about D&D, but you really like the movie? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a common experience. I thought that movie was perfect. Really accessible to people who haven't played D&D, but also very satisfying to people that love and enjoy D&D. We need fixing, and I just keep on passing it, but Palace Jailer and Ephemerate's a little too good to pass up, I think. You're surprised I'm not interested in Adeline? Yeah, I've had too many games where she just gets, like, handled by a Caracas or something. She's probably good here, right? We've got Bombardment and Arena of Glory. I might just, like, underrate her unfairly is how I'd read that. Mazin is attached to create, write, executive produce, and showrun. Also executive producing are, I don't know these names. Hasbro folks. This is a good ass Abandoned Air Temple deck. Oh, it was Mazin's passion for Baldur's Gate 3 and its characters and story that led to desire to adapt it to a TV series. Did he play the other ones, though, or just Baldur's Gate 3? Some Larian lip service here. Alright, I guess I'm tentatively excited. It's going to feature a mixture of existing characters from Baldur's Gate 3 and new ones. I hope they get the voice actors from Baldur's Gate 3 to play the characters in live action. That would be very cool. A lot of phenomenal actors in that cast. Hey, wheeling a little bit of fixing there. A little something for the Oliphant to grab. And the Vantage. Nice. I gotta say, I am stoked for the next Larian game. I know. It's gonna surprise a lot of you. Alright, we'll try the Adeline. Hot take alert! The trailer was sweet. The trailer was very sick. In a figurative and literal sense, the trailer was sick for that game. Did I like the other Divinity games? I did, yeah. I did 2 different runs of Original Sin 2. And on the second one, I was enjoying the skeleton dude so much that I reloaded the game over and over again to get all of his endings. Let's cut Portable Hole. We don't need Overlord because we've got Sanguine Evangelist and Adeline. Basically the same card. You like Squadron here, do you? I guess there's Ocelot Pride. Just for you. I think left to my own devices, I would lean towards Gower, the Goblin, just to increase the red count for Fury. But it's okay. Sure. Throw in the deck in the old overlay. A cat! Meow! Who even owns laurels these days? Everyone owns laurels. What else are people resting on? Spirit Mota. I am delighted to be dazed here. And not next turn when I'm jamming my handful of 3 drops. Corthian wishes their boyfriend, but they aren't here. Are you feeling lonely? I feel that. Yeah, it's real brutal, Corthian. I have tried to do the long distance thing before, and absolutely not. Oh, nice, Alice. Cool to hear a success story. I guess. Fuck ice. You know what card I need here? Parallax Wave. Do a lot of work. Nice Ratifius. My, the only time I've seen King Gizzard, a friend of mine sat there on the ticket page, refreshing it on the day that it was going live. Which is very smart, because they did super sell out. Yeah, I was drawing another card. Is there a way to win from here? Woo! Did we make top 8 yesterday? We did not, Bardaboos. We went 8-2 and got 14th or something. So we take 3, go to 3, lose 2, go to 1. Sure. Yeah, the idea was to Oliphant the Death Greeter and try and get 22 damage together somehow. It wasn't looking very likely. Yeah, the one festival that I went to in Europe was like that, random, where all the tickets were the same. There's pros and cons to doing it both ways, for sure. There's a good chance I should have just played Bombardment here, and then any removal spell they play just, like, kills their shit. That Memory Lapse is gonna fuck me up. At least it dealt him 2 damage. Okay. Yeah, I think they're holding up Memory Lapse and works, but the lapsing here means that the Ocelot gets to produce. It's pretty good. Skip it up a little bit. And now I don't know if I want to be activating my Temple or playing on Bombardments again, huh? Both pretty good with his pile of nonsense. Once you went to a concert and they wouldn't let you stand up because there were seats, interesting. Yeah, I got mixed feelings about all that. The I've definitely been to shows where there's like rows of just like metal seats, and then if the front people in the front decide to stand on the metal seats, then like everybody else has to stand on them to see. It's real annoying. I went to a show recently at Brees Stevens Field where I had scooped seated tickets, but they were like on the lawn because it was like really good position wise. And then the people next to us were just like talking very loudly, and the chairs sucked. They felt like I'm a bigger guy, and you got like really flimsy plastic chairs, and you sit in it, and it like sinks down and shudders. And it's like I don't feel safe sitting on this. And then we saw that there were crowds of people that were just up in front, like standing on the rail and chatting and enjoying the show, enjoying the day. And it's like, oh, we'll just do that then. And I went up and weren't blocking anything, weren't bothering anybody. And the Brees Stevens Field, like whoever was managing that day was like, you can't do that. You paid for seats. Get in your seat. I'm like, what do you care? What are you doing? Fun fact, that's not enough to kill the Ocelot Pride. I think they meant Bowmaster before the draw from the Glimmerlands, right? Just better, just one more ping. Could have killed a 2/2 that way. The most egregious I ever went to, though, was a festival that used to happen here in southern Wisconsin called Rock USA. I think it was a brand. I think they like died during the pandemic. But they would actually like paywall moshing. They're like, you can only dance in the VIP areas. If people like enjoyed themselves and started moshing, people would come in and like break it up and stuff. Absolutely insane. I was like, this is the least metal shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, everybody hated it. The people there for the show hated it. The musicians hated it. A draw 7 would kill me here. I wonder if I was supposed to leave some bats back to block this frog. I guess the Bowmaster could always kill whatever blockers are left back anyway. Sure looks like they're going for a draw 7. Do I get to lose because I activated instead of playing the bombardment? Looks like so. If I play the bombardment there, then I mean they wouldn't have orcs here. I'd have blockers and stuff. I don't draw Solitude or anything. This is 7 and plus 13. This is plenty of damage. You missed the squeak. Should I bring it back? Yeah, it's a bummer when you're like really excited to see the opening act and everybody around you is just has no idea what's going on. They only want to see the main show, but they're there inexplicably for some reason to talk over the other musicians. Yeah. Yeah, same Thasno head. And if you want to chat, like, you can go in the back area and still have your conversation and stuff. Plenty of other spaces. But to, like, go in the front where, like, everybody that really cares about that act is and talk over the musicians is a little fucked. Yeah, that's valid, Toastface Kill him. That sounds fun, Brecht. I mean, I've definitely been to shows where the opener did not rule. Trampled by Turtles likes to have fellow like Minnesotan bands open for them. Sometimes they're hits, sometimes they're misses. The last time I saw them headlining, the opening band was... It was like a guy wrote a bunch of songs for himself playing acoustic guitar and then realized that he wasn't going to get any gigs. Just himself playing an acoustic guitar. So he convinced his girlfriend to learn the violin. And she's there like playing like shaky, unsteady violin. No offense to her, she's new at it, whatever. And then he convinces some guy to play the most uninspired bass lines you've ever heard in your life on an upright bass. And that guy looks the most bored. Like the most bored human being you've ever seen in your life is just playing one note on the upright bass. And oh man. I feel like I'm going too deep on this particular segment. I'm just saying I've seen bad openers too. The bassist is bored, that's a bad sign, right? Yeah. We have a lot of cards here. Anyone else notice that? 2 out of 2 is not bad, Misfortune. 2 out of 2 is not bad. Sounds like you should go to more shows, what it sounds like. with a hit rate like that, Red Rocks is in your backyard. That is very cool. I've never been. Only heard good things. Wow, that's no head. Your brother-in-law was opening for Portugal the Man. I would tell people to shut up too. That's cool as shit. Did you say that your brother was playing? Like, shut the fuck up, my brother's playing. You're like yelling, your brother hears you. He's like, oh my god. You can say some bad things about Red Rocks? Yeah, absolutely. The only bad thing I've seen about Red Rocks, besides the fact that they banned classic rock after that Jethro Tull riot, the only bad thing I've seen was there was like a sleet storm and people got trapped, and there's like crazy ice breaking everybody's windows and shit. The who what? You haven't heard about that? I tell that story a lot. I wasn't there or anything because it was a long time ago, but Jethro Tull, this is like the days before the internet advertising and all that, and so they would just like pass out flyers at nearby towns. And they were playing Red Rocks, and so everybody like got the flyers and like, we should go to this fucking show, right? And they like drive out and they find out that the show sells out immediately, and so there's this like fucking huge crowd of angry people outside murmuring. And Jethro Tull starts playing their show, and the people start like trying to climb the barricades to like see over, see what's going down. And the cops that are guarding the entrance start tear gassing the crowd to make them disperse. And this sea of tear gas, you know how tear gas works, right? It's a gas. So they start tear gassing the main crowd who like bought tickets and stuff to see Jethro Tull. And Jethro Tull's like, so use your shirt to block the tear gas, I guess. And after that, Red Rocks did not allow heavy rock. They didn't allow rock and roll for like 5 or 6 years. Hey, Dogmoth1234, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 81 months there. You think Red Rocks is the most overrated venue? Pain to travel to, curfews are bad, sound being affected by heavy windstorms is a bummer, and it's overpriced. Hey, fair enough, the Bez. That's all. That's a very useful, informative take. I'll still probably hit it up at some point, but obviously it hasn't been a grade A priority for me. Can't beat the case of Steel Reserve. A buddy of mine who was there for the case of Steel Reserve story told it at my wedding. There was a group of folks sitting at a picnic table, and he's like, "Let me tell you a story about Caleb." It was very fun hearing his version of the events, his memory. So this guy pulls a knife on Caleb, and Caleb's like, I don't have any money, but you can have one of my beers if you like. And they have a beer together. Your favorite outdoor venues that you've been to are George Amphitheater and Pickathan Wood Stage. I was only to the outdoor venue in Chicago, the one that's like down there by the lake. I was only there once, but I was pretty impressed with the sound quality and everything. How did I pay for the beer? That beer came at a very stiff cost, that's true. So it was a weekend that I was like, I had like actual no money. I showed up and I sold some cards for this SEG weekend so I could like buy into day one of the tournament. Well, that's a good answer to a Palace Jailer. Anyway, if you top 8 the tournament, they would send you a check in the mail. But if you top 16, they would pay you in cash. And so both days, I top 16, and I get my cash so I can like buy dinner and stuff. And my friends are going down to Beale Street. This was in Memphis. They're going down to Beale Street to drink, and I have like $20 after like, you know, I don't have the kind of money to like go out and spend at a bar. So I look up the nearest place that I can buy booze, and it's like a several mile walk. And so I walk several miles because, you know, what are we doing here, right? I'm not just going to not drink and celebrate after a successful back-to-back top 16. And I get there, and the gas station is like pretty sketch. There's like bars over the windows type deal. And I get a case of Steel Reserve, because Steel Reserve has a good alcohol percentage for the price, you know. That is a really good harvester. Good ass harvester. And then when I walked back to Beale Street, so Beale Street, if you aren't familiar with Memphis, there's a street where you can like wander around and drink in public, but it's like cordoned off, and you have to be drinking in these like red Solo cups that the bars there sell and stuff, and all that. And so if you're a tourist, you're very easy to spot because you've got a red Solo cup in your hand. I'm walking down this street with a case of Steel Reserve under my hand, so the locals see me as one of their own, and I start getting approached by all kinds of people. I share a joint with one lady, and give her a few beers. And this one guy that she introduces me to pulls out a sheetrock knife, and he just like points it at me and like smiles, like he's like trying to get a reaction out of me or something. And I am very not intimidated by a sheetrock knife because it's a sheetrock knife. And I just like offer him a beer and he smiles and takes it and we chat for a while and stuff. I eventually like find the bar that my friends are in, and they do not stop me, even though I'm like walking in with a case of Steel Reserve under my arm. I'll be a little bit careful about that Parallax Wave, That 5/4 is gonna kill everything when it comes back into play. Kind of wish I had a fourth in my deck right about now. The only person at the bar who like didn't raise an eyebrow at me walking in with half a case of Steel Reserve under my arm was Adrian Sullivan, who was also from Wisconsin. It was just like, yep, that's a normal thing. Same, Keith. It is a damn shame about the turf stuff. I used to really like that guy and his content. But he thinks some of my friends and mods and community members should have less rights than everybody else. So I was like, okay, fuck you, I guess. I don't. They got a Torsten too. There's no way they're running out of gas. We have this Parallax Wave, but it's just not gonna. It has to hit the Torsten and the Atraxa, and then they all come back. Yeah, it's been real bad, Keith. Like he'll, like he's not like a passive anti-trans activist. Like he's speaking in front of, like he's organizing and speaking in front of politicians and stuff. Really cares about denying people rights. Talking about Adrian Sullivan, Mark. Eye protection. Oh yeah, from the One Ring. Still in a rough spot there, but you're right, it wasn't quite as bad as I thought. Saving this Ragavan for Deathgreater's Champion could be real. Yeah, Patrick Sullivan and Adrian Sullivan mixed up and you were real sad for a second. Yeah, those are very different people for shame. The mono red guy and the giant penny guy. I would like to do more pre-modern content, Cougar Bait. I did Pauper recently. Just hard to fit everything in. The double strike clearing one so that it gets to eat my 2/2. Clever. Clever stuff. Pre-modern Pauper does not sound very good. I like pre-modern though. What kind of decks would you like to see, Cougar Bait? You've been enjoying survival variants in Blade Control. Cool. In the pre-modern events I played a couple different survival decks. Elves and like a red-green madness thing. That deck was pretty heinous. I still almost top 8'd though. I have an idea for a survivalist elves build that I haven't seen anybody else jam. That would involve like 4 Goblin Bombardment and 4 Caller of the Claw. You were told that the new way rules work impacts how some power and how cards work in pre-modern decks. Uh, it depends. It depends on what rules you're talking about. So there's been erratas that have been undone. I don't think like Parallax Wave and Parallax Tide were all that good in standard at the time because I don't think you could actually like do the trick. I think, and then they undid that errata at some point. A lot of times when people made that comment, they're talking about Mog Fanatic specifically because that card was a lot better when damage went on the stack. But pre-modern covers a swath of cards from like 4th, and there wasn't a stack during 4th, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make sense to use that rule set. They just use regular current day rules. Morphling. Yeah, Morphling's a lot different too. Back in the day with Morphling, you could, like, say your Morphling is tangoing with a 5/5 and you have all the blue mana in the world. You could pump it up to a 5-power creature, stack damage, and then pump the toughness so that it would survive combat. If people are really committed, they'd use the rules from before modern. Yeah, I was talking about that, Keith. Again, the issue is there's 2 different sets of rules from before modern. So it doesn't even work. Like, your idea doesn't work. Like, are you going back to batching? Pre-stack? Flip a coin to figure out which rules you're using. Yeah. Yeah, that's the real answer, is they wanted people to actually play their format. Bring back ante. Let's play some high-stakes ante. I've played some 5-color. Gross. Instant speed, counter magic stops working. Yeah, and I mean, the phrase damage on the stack has no meaning without a stack, right? Would you like to play another creature? Card seems pretty good. Really shouldn't be F6ing with a bombardment in play. Seems like they have a lot of portable hole hits. Got reprieve on the draw. Oh, I want that Overlord in. Here we go. Good evening, Willianov. Hope you're having a good one. Hope you're having a pleasant Saturday Eve. That's exactly why, Keith. Oh, shit. Hey, Rotten Agenda. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 30 months there. Have an unreal little band. Love to see them live sometime. Hey, Zed Yooks. Thanks for the sub. The 19 months. The 2-month streak. Hope you're having a good one. Appreciate you supporting. Speaking of ante, I don't know if this is just a Swedish thing, but we have a thing called Folk Race, which is a rally open for everyone, and you put the car you're racing with as ante as a means to balance the power of the vehicles. Oh, sure. That's kind of fun. Your Saturday's gone quite well. Got a nice beard trim at the barber. Oh, I'm jelly. I need a beard trim so bad. Got some errands done while I was pretty outside before it got cold. Nice. Some laundry washed, enjoying a drink or two. Yeah, that sounds pleasant as shit. I also got to get outside a little bit today. How rude would it be to portable hold a blood token? Yeah, not a bad critter to give haste to, huh? Can you imagine if it just naturally had haste? Things sure would be different. Sure feels like they've got a lightning bolt, doesn't it? Let's play something a little obscure. Show you folks something pretty cool. Very relatable expression here. What would I be like in the Magic universe? Just some fucking asshole with a scythe. Looking real mad before marching to my death. Alright, I'm gonna play some real music. I'm sorry. Enough of this joke shit. Now this is a man with talent. Died a Fire Blast. Alright. They don't got it. They never have it. Heh. Now we're almost at 10.